Welcome to Over 50 and Frank, the podcast that says the quiet parts out loud. I'm Shannon, also known as Frank when I drop the filter. Around here, we talk about aging, menopause, wellness, and life after 50 with honesty, humor, and zero apologies. If you're over 50 and craving real talk, pull up a chair and send this to a friend. Today, we are talking about skincare and what's real versus what's just really good marketing. I'm joined by Hari Prakash, the founder of Prakash Organics, and we break down some of the biggest trends and misconceptions in the beauty industry. We talk about PDRN and why topical versions may or may not do what you think. We cover collagen supplements, Matrixyl 3000, beef tallow, and the importance of being consistent. Most importantly, we discuss ingredient transparency and why understanding actually what's in your products matter. This episode is about helping you shop smarter and feel confident about what you're putting on your skin. Let's get into it. You guys are in for a treat because I am here with my favorite skincare expert that everyone needs to know about, Hari Prakash. Hari Prakash is the founder of Prakash Organics, and it is an amazing skincare line, and it's changed my skin, and everybody stops and asks me what's the glow from, and Prakash Heavier, vitamin C, E, and E, the eye care oil, the body nectar, it's all amazing. Welcome, Hari Prakash, and you said sometimes you like to be called Hari, so
yeah, whatever people want to call me. Thank you so much, Shannon.
Hari, tell us about Prakash Organics.
So basically, Prakash Organics was born out of being frustrated with the skincare industry and the manipulation of ingredients for consumers. I've been a licensed esthetician now for about 20 years. I hold my master's license in Washington and my aesthetics license in Oregon. I got into skincare, into aesthetics because of skincare and my passion for skincare ingredients. I learned it, in my early 20s that, oh, wait a minute, I can put things on my skin and they make actual cellular changes. They're not just like fluff, but I could really actually change and improve the health of my skin. So with my autism, skincare ingredients became my hyperfixation. So love skincare ingredients, eventually became an esthetician, eventually became a chemical peel expert and a microneedling specialist. Been training and educating on those two things for a long time. And then another product line came out that was an oil line, and I saw what it was made of and what they were charging for it, and it pissed me off. So I was like, I can do this better. And then I started researching, and that's when I discovered the unrefined oils and realized it was a whole sector of skincare ingredients that wasn't even tapped into or used because they are like fresh squeezed juice. They don't have a super long shelf life. When they make skincare, they want to run a huge batch and then sit in boxes in a warehouse for a couple years till they sell through that lot and then make another. I mean, not everyone. Sometimes people sell through their skincare in 6 months to a year. But in general, it's not uncommon to receive a skincare product that's been in a warehouse for a year or two before you use it on your face. Whereas with unrefined oils, you got to use them right away.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, your stuff is good. I use the heavier at night. I use the C and E in the morning. And the eye care oil, I use that at night too. The body nectar, I switched between. Darlene and I, in the first podcast we did, talked about like our favorite body oils. And it's like almost very similar to the one by Osea.
Which one? They're like creamy one or their other one?
The body oil, the Eudaria algae body oil. It's very similar. I think yours, it's like a very similar price point too. And it's just luxurious. It's like anything that you make, like,
thank you,
is amazing. The hair oil, I will say I have not used that in a long time, but
that's one of the beautiful things about that. The reason why you like that Osea one so much is because that algae oil is an unrefined algae oil, and so it's kind of giving you that same unrefined effect where it's going to absorb in and not just kind of sit on the surface.
Yeah. So you're here to talk about skincare scams.
There's a few out there.
And it's so funny because someone else brought this up to me too, and then I heard you talking about it on Instagram stories. If you're not following Prakash Organics on Instagram, I will link it in the show notes. But Hari has the best stories, and she is not ever going to sugarcoat anything. And that is what I love about this woman. Is I've known her since 2019. We helped her with her marketing. She's now in Bainbridge Island, and she's just thriving and all over the place, and just has the best information. So I saw the PDRN out there. The PDRN was big, and we had a client ask us about it, and then I saw somebody say it is a total scam, blah 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 blah, and then I saw you say it. So I want to know your thoughts about, well, what is PDRN and like your thoughts on PDRN?
So the thing with PDRN is like the ingredient itself is not a scam. It's a beautiful euthanizing. I know it's not a word, but I like using it. And when I say euthanizing, I mean like youth. Maybe that's why it's not a word. It definitely will reverse your aging. It's a polynucleotide. The only true, real PDRN is, hence salmon sperm. The reason it's become so trendy is because in Korea, they've been using it for mesotherapy. They have a ton of mesotherapy over in Korea, and it's not something that's available here in the United States. It's just now becoming somewhat known in the US, and there's one, maybe two products that have been approved by the FDA for mesotherapy. And what mesotherapy is when they take a needle and they place it into the skin about what, like the needles themselves are like 1 to 1.5 millimeters. So like even less than a microneedling device if you were doing a deeper microneedling. And they inject these fluids into the skin from sterile vials that have skin healing and rejuvenating benefits. And one of them's PDRN. But there's a reason they're injecting it. So topical PDRN just isn't a thing. It's completely marketing. There are PDRNs out there that like are vegan PDRN, and there's a smaller molecule PDRN, and there's a vegetarian form of PDRN. It's not PDRN. It's just part of the marketing fad. I think if you come across a product, like I know Medicube has some PDRN products that people are like, but I really like them. Girl, they're like in the $20 to $30 range, like get them. It's not the PDRN though there's no PDRN in it. It's the other like peptides and ingredients. So if you're getting a good result with it, and it's a low price, go for it. But if they're selling a PDRN to you and charging you $80, $90, put your money into a growth factor like the dermatology one. You're going to get better benefits, and they're not being dishonest about what's really causing the changes in the skin. In topical skincare, it's a trending marketing term. It can't get in the skin. The molecule's way too big. It's huge.
Yeah, that's what I saw you say and somebody else say. And now whenever I see PDRN, I'm like, PDRN's a scam. So another thing I'm seeing is NAD Skincare, and in fact, I'm testing one right now. So I've taken NAD injections, really haven't seen much. I've done NAD sprays, haven't seen much. I've taken the capsules. So since I do a lot of content creation, I get sent things, and one thing I got sent was NAD Skincare, and I've been using it a month. I feel like you don't notice things after a month. But what's your take on NAD Skincare?
Totally a scam. Not a single study about it. Basically, it's like the niacinamide, which is niacinamide, and then the AD. And it also is a larger molecule. It's not huge. It's a molecule of 663 Daltons. 500 or below go into the skin, but it's also a highly polarized ingredient, and it can't get into cells, period. It's way better to give your skin the precursor to NAD, like niacinamide, apply that topically, and then allow the cell to make its own NAD. There's studies that actually prove that work, but there's not a single human trial showing that putting NAD on your skin does anything but sit on the very top surface of your skin. Also, I think it's a super trending ingredient, also by injecting it, which is the best way to get it. I didn't really see that much. It's my least favorite peptide of all the peptides I've tried.
Yeah, I just don't really want to stick myself with a needle 5 days a week. So and then I had the spray, and the spray sat there, and I just never did anything with it. So it sits there, and I'm like, it has the directions. I don't even know if you sprayed on your skin or you sprayed it in your mouth. I don't know. I
think you're supposed to inhale it. It's a nasal spray. The oral's the worst. It can't really get through the stomach. The nasal spray's but the best way is injecting it. I think there's benefits to injecting it when like you're sick. Like if I had COVID, I would want a vial of NAD in my fridge. But other than that, no.
I have pre-drawn and NAD in my fridge that I'm afraid to use. So
it only, after you reconstitute a peptide, it only is really stable for about a month.
Maybe I should throw it.
I'll use peptides for 2.5 months after it's reconstituted, but after 3, I just throw it away.
Yeah, I have a lot of tirzepatide in my fridge. So anyways, that's a topic for another day. Okay, next one. Collagen that you drink.
Yes. So the biggest thing with the collagen that you drink is you have to be consistent. Like if you struggle with taking a supplement, or you're not going to take it like 5+ times a week, like religiously, then you're not really going to get, like I don't get a benefit from collagen because I forget to take it.
Well, I'm like a consistency queen, so I've literally I take it every day. So all my vitamins and all my supplements.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Yeah, my son's noticed because of his OCD that when he takes his supplements, very consistency, it will go down. Yeah. So
like your joints will feel better with collagen, your hair, your skin, like everything will improve with collagen if you're using a good collagen. You just have to take it.
So it's not a scam if you take it consistently.
Not at all. Okay. Oh, we'll get into the quality. Like, I'm sorry, you can't get a $15 collagen and think you're getting quality.
I do the Thorne collagen.
Yeah, that's a fabulous one. And just know that the protein found in collagen is not a complete protein. So even though if you have like my collagen has like, it's a high level of protein, like 15 grams of collagen or something like that, but it's not a complete protein. So you can't really count it as don't add it to your protein powder or your protein intake.
I know that one. I just got Matrixyl 3000.
That's a good one.
For UGC. So talk about that.
So there's first came out with Matrixyl, and now there's Matrixyl 3000, and then there's a Matrixyl, oh gosh, which one is it? It actually helps more with like vertical lines. Matrixyl is one of the few patented peptides that I'd spend money on. Those studies are pretty tried and true. I wouldn't waste my money on Matrixyl. I'd get like Matrixyl 3000 is the better one. So I do Matrixyl 3000 or look at the other versions of Matrixyl. I think there's 4 or 5 total. Like when a product comes out and they're pushing that it's Matrixyl in it, and I'm like, babe, you just launched a product and you're using an active from 20 years ago. Why aren't you using the better versions of it? It's like I would never use Obagi. Like if you want to use Zeo or Obagi, use Zeo. Like why would you use the dated version of a product line? You want to use more of the updated stuff. Also with Matrixyl, you do want to make sure that it is like it's using a therapeutic level. Skincare companies only have to have like 0.0001% of an ingredient in there, and then they can still make marketing claims on it. So when you have an ingredient list, in America, everything has to be in the order that it's in the product until you get to 1%. And once you get to 1%, you can take the less than 1% actives and mix them all up and put them anywhere you want. So you can have a product that 99% of the ingredients are like water, cucumber extract, aloe vera. And then you add like 1% of this herbal water that has like 20 herbs in it. So all those herbs have to be listed. And then you also add like 0.3% Matrixyl. So those herbs are all going to be listed, right? So if you go into the order based on that 1% rule, Matrixyl is literally going to be the 4th ingredient. And then it's going to show like 20 ingredients after that. So in your mind, you're going to think, oh, this must have like 5%, 6%. So again, it's like it's manipulation. If it's really cheap, it doesn't have Matrixyl. It's a patented ingredient. It costs money. I like to know percentages because I then like to check what the therapeutic range of that ingredient is and make sure the active falls within that therapeutic range.
That's good to know.
And if a company says it's proprietary and we don't want to release that, very questionable. Like if they do it now and then, like if they'll give you the percentage of this and of this, but they don't want to give you that, understandable. But if they do it over and over and over again, that's a big red flag.
That's good to know. I never thought about that. Okay, next up is one that is trending everywhere that we're seeing people make themselves. The
tallow. Okay. So here's the thing about tallow. And I really hope that people see that this is a very neutral, skin educated opinion. I had different opinions on it when I was younger than I do now. I'm 47 years old. So when it comes to beef tallow, I do think it has its place. And if you want to use it, use it. But with that being said, it is refined beyond all recognition. It is a dead oil, and it only works as an occlusive like petroleum or lanolin or shea butter. The difference is like shea butter actually has some nutrients left. Like if the shea butter is unrefined, there's going to be so many nutrients in that shea butter that could possibly give your skin benefit. But with tallow, because it's so heavily rendered and cooked, like it's the beef fat version of petrolatum, period. So when it comes to like transepidermal water loss, which is why we would want to use something like beef tallow, petroleum or petrolatum, so all white petroleum, petrolatum that's used in skincare, people call it petroleum jelly or Vaseline. That is petrolatum. It prevents transepidermal water loss, which as we get older, we can't hold on to water and it goes out of our cells and yada, yada, yada. So it's called TEWL. And petrolatum she's Empress. She's number 1. And it prevents transepidermal water loss by 30 to 50%. Lanolin is 20 to 30%. So it's like the second occlusive. Beef tallow, tallow, falls within the range of other plant butters, which are more like around the 50 to 25%. And then oils are at like 15% and then like below. So it goes oils, plant butters, tallow, lanolin, petrolatum. So if you want to use it as like occlusive, like to slug with it, but it's not healing your acne, it's not doing a miraculous things. If you put it on your eczema and it's healing your eczema, so would Vaseline. Vaseline would do the exact same thing if you use that. So if you want to use it, like use it. If I see one more person on TikTok say it healed their acne, I might scream. Like I have to block the beef tallow people on TikTok selling the product because the before and afters are just flat out lies.
Well, yeah, and I can't wait till I see Nara Smith make it.
Yeah, like there's nothing in it. And why hasn't she made it, to be honest with you? Like,
yeah, why hasn't she made it?
The other thing is I understand it with like true tallow, it's only supposed to be rendered from only like the kidneys or maybe it's the liver, but true tallow is rendered from one of the organs and that's the one that doesn't have smell. What's happening is there's a tradwife trend of making it and what they're doing is they're just getting like beef fat, like the stuff off the freaking steak, and they're rendering it like crazy in their crock pots and stuff, but that's why it still smells like steak. Like, have you ever put the beef tallow on without any essential oil? They're not using the right fat. They're not even doing it right.
And also, you might have mentioned this, or we might have talked about this another time, or you might have said it here, but I feel like I've heard you say it. It's very refined.
Yeah, it's refined beyond, like, they cook it and they cook it and they cook it because that's the only way to get the stuff out of it. But that's where all the nutrients is. Like, that's why I work with unrefined oils, is because they're raw, they're cold pressed. Like, all the carotenoids and the polyphenols and all the antioxidants are intact. And the sterols, like, the vitamins, the minerals, the trace minerals, like, there's so much. It's like taking fresh squeezed juice, but in lipid form. Like, the juice comes from the fruit pulp and the carrier oil comes from the seed. So when you not only filter it, but then cook it, that bitch is dead. And then you cook it 3 or 4, like 4 to 5 times they render that. It's truly like just using mineral oil or paraffin wax. It has to still be like tallow, but it's not tallow. Like, it's like castor oil. It's like canola oil. Like, they take the rapeseed, and I know it's a different strain, but like they refine it and refine it and refine it and refine it. And this is what's left. Like, use it. It's just nothing special. And please, for the love of God, don't spend a lot of money on it.
Okay. The next one, I'm like, I have lots on my list, but I'm like, where do I go next? Vulvoline. Can never say it.
So Vulvoline is legit. It does come from a rhizome. So the company that patented is a pharmaceutical company in Italy. It is a rhizome that is in a base of isopropanol, which is basically like a petroleum byproduct. There are studies. It will plump up the tissues. Same thing. It's a supplement. You have to be religious about it. I tell people to add it to my eye care oil. But with that being said, it's only going to give you an improvement in the plumpness of the fat. Like, depending on, like, there's different studies out there and where on the body. I don't think they've ever done a study directly on the under eye area itself, but it's between like 10 to 28%, depending on the patient. So it's not like major, but it's also cheap, and you only use it at, like, you buy the concentrate and then you only add 10% to the skincare. So if you get like my eye care oil that's a 10 ml, and there's space in there, you just add like 1 milliliter into the eye care oil, mix it up, and then you're done. I don't like I'm not a fan of how people will add it every time they use it. Put the 10% into something, mix that bitch up, and call it a day.
So, okay, the one I have is from the
I wouldn't buy Vulvoline skincare. I would buy Vulvoline the concentrate and mix it into any skincare you want, because it's so cheap. It's a lipid. It has its own preservatives. It's isopropanol. Like, it can't go bad. It's not going to, you get these dermatologists and they're like, oh, you're going to throw off the preservative system. No, it's fine. With this particular thing, it's not going to throw up with the preservative system. Well, add your own Vulvoline. I recommend it if you want to use it. It's gonna help a little. It's not major, but it's going to help.
Okay. I'm going to have to go find a different one because I have one from The Ordinary. Riedels. This was one that I talked to you about.
Riedels are real. Riedels are spicules. So spicules are the skeletons of sea sponge. I've used them in peels before, like the Cosmetics Deep Sea Peel is spicules. I know Lyra makes also a peel that is using the spicules. Basically, they embed into your skin. They cause the skin to come off, and then they go into your lymph system and detox. That's why when you use the spicules at like a higher concentration, you can kind of feel kind of like itchy and stuff on your neck. It's not because they're itchy. It's that as your body is your lymph system is actually like moving those little spicules along, they tickle the inside. And that's why they're kind of itchy in your lymph. They do have benefit. They help ingredients penetrate. They're legit. So, the reason why they feel prickly is because they're embedded in your skin. That's why the more Riedels there are. So the difference is spicules are the actual bones. They are naturally derived. Riedels are synthetic and man-made to mimic the same thing.
And they're
plastic?
They
actually, they're more, they're not real. They're polymer.
They're not the real thing. They're synthetic, but we don't.
They are the synthetic. Like, spicules are the actual bones. I love them, but they are spiky and jagged, and whereas Riedels they're standardized. They're the spicules are the Eastern version. Riedels are the Western version. Like, they're very controlled. They're very consistent. They will cause ingredients to penetrate.
I was having this conversation with somebody, and they told me that the spicule or that the Riedels were plastic.
They probably are, because if they're an acrylate, like, I need to look them up. But if they're like an acrylate or a polymer, like, that's plastic. It's just like with people who get like Sculptra or like, what's the other one? There's all the different injectables, but any like Belafil, there's Radius. Radius uses calcium, but like Belafil and Sculptra, that's what they're doing, is they're injecting these tiny little, like Sculptra is, like the disposable cups that are biodegradable, they're polylactic acid. Okay. That is what's in Sculptra. So they inject these tiny little beads into the skin, and then the body then sends collagen to that area to encapsulate it. Just like if you had a breast implant and people get like, everybody knows that every breast implant gets a capsule around it. And then over time, eventually it can cause capsular contracture. And there's nothing you can do about it. So that is how those types of fillers work. They're injecting a tiny little plastic bead into the body. It's a foreign object. It sends in the collagen. It grows in that area. And that's why it improves the face. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but it's plastic.
It's revolutionary.
It is.
It's plastic surgery without the surgery.
Exactly.
Okay, I have a couple more. Vegan growth factors.
Okay, so it's a thing, but it's not a thing. So when you say vegan, I'm going to assume plant.
Yes,
when it
plant-based
comes to
growth factors. Sorry.
Yeah.
Plant-based growth
Oh,
factors.
well, no, that's not a thing. There's stem cells, but there's no such thing as vegan growth factors.
So what's dermatology made out of?
They're making it out of vegan growth factors. Baby, that's just a fancy way of saying lab-derived growth factors.
Now I'm going to go look it up. Hold on.
I think you're right, but all it is lab-derived growth factors, because that's what's going to make it vegan, right? It's not, there's no animal in it. There's no human in it. And if it's made in a lab, that's a lab-derived growth factor.
Okay, I guess that's the best way to say it. Hold on.
It's just marketing manipulation.
I just want to...
It's accurate, but we've been using lab-derived growth factor for years. I don't know why you would just change it to vegan, besides it just being a trendy marketing thing to say.
So I will say, and Harry knows this, I actually love the dermatology needleless growth factor.
Oh, they're fantastic. They're fantastic. And again, they're not wrong. It is a vegan growth factor, but it's a lab-derived growth factor. Like we've had these, their combination of them and the price point they're able to offer it at. Mwah. I've never seen a well-done lab-derived growth factor for under $110. And even then it only had like one type, and they have multiple. They have peptides. It's the best priced growth factor product for the price available.
Yeah, I was just looking at the ingredients are all peptides, and then
which are lab-derived. Every single peptide besides
tremella mushroom and
Tremella's snow mushroom. So. It's the mushroom they tell you to eat. That's totally from Chinese medicine. You can get the dehydrated ones at the Asian grocery store. Tremella is one of my favorite ingredients. I love it. It's in the Good Light Moon Drops milky toner that I absolutely adore and love.
I feel like it's in another product you use.
Tremella's in a lot. It's an adaptogenic mushroom as well.
Last one, serum spray. Have you ever used this?
I can't see it because of the camera. Oh, is that D'Alba?
The Alba serum spray.
Okay, so
I love this stuff.
You should. You can. There's nothing wrong with loving it. Serum spray is really not a thing, but it is. So lipid serums a serum's a serum. So to me, when something's a serum, it has a lot of actives, and it has actives more at therapeutic doses and at molecular, hopefully that they can get in. I guess I'm used to more clinical and medical grades. So that's usually always guaranteed. The reason why I have a problem with toner serums is unless they have a ton of actives in there, it's more just kind of marketing, because it is a toner, which means it's got to spray. It's got to be at least 95% water. I prefer to see a tea and stuff, but with that particular product, that stuff is almost pure water and glycols. A synthetic dimethicone is literally the third ingredient. And then it has so this is another one of those 1/10 of 1%. White truffle is kind of high on the list, but then there's a ton of herbs. So that white truffle could be in there at 0.5%. It's marketing, but if you like it, it makes you happy, buy it, because it's in the $20 range. This is the thing with skincare. If you like it and you enjoy it, it makes you happy, freaking buy it. Is it some amazing product? No. I mean, the big claim to flame on it is that it's also an antioxidant with there's so much, all my oils are antioxidants. It doesn't make it super unique. The only thing about white truffle is that it's an antioxidant. It doesn't do anything else. And there's also no studies on it because it's studied for culinary, not dermatology. So you use it because you like it and it makes you happy. It brings you joy. It does not make your dark spots go away.
It's not expensive either. And also,
that's what I mean. It's
one everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Setting makeup and stuff. I love sprays for makeup. If it was $80, I'd be like, girl, that is stupid. But for $25, heck yeah, makes me happy.
It makes me happy. Okay, we're gonna do lightning round, which is you can only say a couple words after I say the sentence. Okay? Ready?
Okay.
The skincare trend that's most misunderstood right now is
microneedling.
Most people think their skin needs more products when what it really needs is
humectants and oils. It really can be that simple.
I thought you were going to say sunscreen.
To me, that's not even to me, that's duh.
So many people don't wear sunscreen.
I get so sick and tired of when people have these conversations that people always say is sunscreen, because I don't learn anything new. Everyone's in sunscreen. Of course, bitch. Of course. It is the number one anti-aging ingredient you can put on your face is sunscreen.
Yeah. And you need to wear a big fluffy hat in the summer.
Big fluffy hat, big ass sunglasses.
Big ass sunglasses. If a skincare claim sounds too good to be true, the first thing I look at is
the ingredient index. But also, I want to see the products, like, don't jump when it first comes out. Wait till it's been out for a bit. Wait to make sure that trend's not a bell curve. Like, the studies will come out and back it, and then it will stay. Like Matrixyl. Matrixyl's been around a long time. Snap 8. There's some actives that if you think about it, there's a ton that have been around since the 90s. Retinol, retinoids, retinoic acid, vitamin C, niacinamide. Like, just wait a little bit. Don't always just jump. Marketing is... Food companies and skincare companies are abused the most by marketing. They're the lies. It's worse with skincare.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us. We have more episodes planned with you. So if you want to follow Hari Prakash Organics.
You can call me Hari too.
It makes me mad when people call you Huddy. I'm like, her Hari. And like, her name's not Hari.
After the amount of time I've fought over the name, like, I'm tired.
Yeah, that's what happens when you reach perimenopause. You get tired. If you want to follow Hari Prakash, prakash.og on Instagram. Is it prakash.og? What's the website address?
Prakashog.com. And then Instagram and TikTok are both prakash.og because some jerk on IG had Prakash OG.
Yeah, I know. That sucks. All right.
It's upsetting when someone has your username. It's upsetting.
It does suck. It totally sucks. All right.
Especially when they don't even use the account. Like, delete it. Let someone else have it.
Did you reach out to them and say, I'll buy it from you?
They were literally like a man in another country. Like, hadn't used the account for 4 or 5 years. You were my social media manager at the time. You know, like.
Yeah, that's right. I think I might have reached out to him.
He ignored me and you. Oh, well.
He did. Until
well,
next
he probably
time.
didn't get the message. It hadn't been used for years. Mwah. Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks so much for listening to Over 50 and Frank. If today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love it if you'd follow the show, leave a review, or share this episode with a friend who needs to hear it. You can find links, resources, and everything we talked about in the show notes. I'm Shannon, and I'll be back next week with more candid conversations about style, wellness, and life after 50.